Okay, these kids are so loud. It's insane. They're so loud. So please ignore that. But yeah, you're going to hear from time to time some screaming and don't do that. It's them playing a game. And I say that in every one of the videos I do today. On the weekends, I do videos because that's really the time when I'm able to do them and I can sit down and actually do it. Noe's usually at the studio on the weekends, so I'm not interfering with our time. But make sure you join the Discord. It's going to be down in the description box below. And this is a question that I've gotten a few times, and Noelle has even said, you should do this. And I'm like, ah. But someone said, hey, Hersh, and I gotten another one where someone asked this question. And it was just in an area, but I've gotten a few because it's hard. And I think the reason why I'm getting these is because people realize how hard it is to get a house in the area, period. So I had someone say, hey, Hersh, I'm looking to move to the area. Is it possible for you to do consultations with a realtor for me and even possibly with a remodeler? Wouldn't mind pay you to do that. I'm just reading what they're saying. I'm not making funny. I wouldn't mind paying you to do that. Is that something that you would consider doing? Well, let me first say that Noelle has asked me to do that before. She's like, why don't you just be a consultant for people and charge them to do certain things, right? She's like, because you're pretty well versed in it. Why don't you just have people pay you? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if people really want to do that or whatnot. But I've actually gotten like a few requests recently and once or twice in the past where people will say, I'd pay you this amount or give me a consult or whatnot. And my thing is basically send an email onto, which is on our site, but I'll give it. It's Meet the Wilsons, MEETTHEWILSONS 2K10 @gmail.com. Yes, it is a very long email, but it's meetthewilsons2k10 @gmail.com. Send a request there, and then we can pretty much hash it out. We can talk about it. One person wanted me to just do a phone consult with them for a certain number of minutes, and they would pay me, which is cool. Excuse me. And I told them to also send an email. Sorry. I had another person that wanted me to go to Seattle and actually walk through the house, different houses, and give them an opinion as to the houses and, just kind of be their eyes and ears there. They already had a realtor, and they wanted the realtor and me to actually walk through because they were in a completely different place. Same with the other person. This person here, I think they just said Illinois. And yes, to answer that, I could definitely do that. Now, keep in mind, if it is here in Tacoma, it's going to be completely different than me having to travel all the way up to, it's different. So if on the phone, someone wants me to kind of talk about certain things, certain neighborhoods, certain areas, that's one thing, because I can go into a whole lot more detail than what I do online or on YouTube videos. I can go into a whole lot more detail and do. That's different. If I have to get in a car and drive someplace, it's going to be a completely different price point because I'm actually actively having to do something. I've had some people who, if someone's a friend, that's different. Or if someone says, hey, here's a map, an area on a map, what do you think? I can, yeah, not a problem. I can do that. That's not a big deal. And so a lot of times I've done that for free because I'm like, whatever. I'll just give me, I don't know exact, but I can kind of give you a feel like, yeah, that's a pretty cool place, not bad. But if you want something that's more of a detailed analysis, and I'm not talking about paperwork and all that, but just me going there and basically saying like, hey, here's kind of like do some wayfinding for you, if you will. Like, here's how to get there. Here's some cool places that are in the area. This section you want to kind of avoid or don't go in this area at night, or this is a cool dive area that a lot of people go to. This is where all the cool parks are. If you're really wanting something like that, I could do it, whether it's in Seattle or whether it's in Tacoma or any of the area. The farther away that it is from Tacoma, the more it's going to be, obviously. So if you want to be up in Everett and Mukilteo and Marysville and Issaquah, it's going to cost a lot more than what it would be. Not a lot. We're not talking like a big old huge sack of cash, but it's going to be more than what it would be if it is here in Tacoma, because obviously I would have to go to those places. So going to those places and just kind of giving a feel and doing a little bit of a video here and there, that's going to be different. If I'm meeting with like realtors and you want me to help you find like contractors and stuff like that to help do work, because we're getting work done on our bathroom, and we have a contractor that's really cool. If you're wanting to do something like that, I could do that. It's going to be a completely different deal, but I can do it. And so I often tell people that just because a house needs to be remodeled, don't skip over it and say, I'm not going to do it. Obviously, you could. What's a smart thing to do is, and I talked about in the previous video, Noelle and I went with a realtor to a house and it was raining, and it's good to go to a house when it's raining. And we found that there was a leak in the roof and it smelled like gas and all of that. Let's say that it wasn't raining that day. You need a contractor or someone to be able to come in and point out issues. So that is something that you probably would need. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't get a inspection done. To be honest with you, it's a seller's market, so the seller's not going to do any sort of inspection. They don't have to. So it puts all of that weight on you. And if you're asking for an inspection, there's just going to go to the next person who's not asking for an inspection. And so I tell people that one of the ways around that is having someone on the ground that can have a contractor come in free and give an estimate as to what it would cost to fix whatever issues. So it could be that maybe there's a crack in the foundation, or maybe the kitchen's outdated, or whatever the case may be. And they can, at that point, look at all those different things, get an idea. I can talk to the person and say, look, we found a hairline crack in the foundation. Is it a problem? We don't know. I'll take pictures. I'll show videos of it, that type of thing. I'm not crawling under the house or crawling up in attics or nothing like that. That's something you would need an inspector for. But as far as like going around, taking a look, looking at the yard, that type of thing, taking a picture of the neighborhood, walking the neighborhood a little bit, that type of thing, the more that I have to do, the more it's going to cost, obviously. The more people that I would have to get there to take a look at it, the more it's going to potentially cost. It just depends. But to have an actual contractor that can tell you, like, the contractor will send people emails like, hey, this is your email. This is what's all the issues that I see and the potential cost of it. Then you can kind of take a look and say, you know what, this house is not ideal, but it's affordable, and the things that need to be fixed, I already have someone that I know that can fix it, and I know what the price it's going to be, and those prices are good for 30 days, I think, or however long they do them, or however long they mention that they're good for. I think it's at least 30 days. So I can definitely do that. That's not a big issue, not a problem whatsoever. I tell people to join the Discord because it's a lot easier too to reach me, because sometimes I may miss things. And hold on a second. Sweets is playing like she's a chicken. It's like I can't even hear myself think. But I forgot what I was actually saying. I was having to get on them. But at any rate, in terms of like remodeling a house or something like that, that might be a good way to go. You may have some people who will kind of shy away from those, but again, not many. Homes are in high contention. One thing I won't do is put money down for you. I'm not doing that. I'm not handling anybody's money or putting money down for someone or any of that type of stuff, right? Not doing that. Not signing contracts for you or being a part of any of that. Nope. But as far as like taking a look at a certain area, that type of thing, sure, I could definitely do that type of thing. Not a big deal. And when it comes to, I missed it. It was right there. It came back and I missed it. I can't think now because the kids threw me off my game. Oh, Discord. Discord's great because one, we have conversations and things there, and that's cool. But for two, when people send a message, I get it instantly. Because I've gotten a lot of messages on YouTube, and like I hardly ever get a chance to check it unless it's on the weekend. And we're talking days and days and days. And so when someone comments on a video, it basically goes in the order of what video they commented on. So it could be a video from 3 years ago, and someone comments on it. Guess what? That's going to be the next comment that I see. Even though you may have commented on a recent video, I don't know, because I'm seeing all these other comments that are there. And sometimes people comment 2 or 3 times on the same video. So, or we have people going back and forth talking about a particular topic between themselves. And so all of those get higher and higher and higher on the thing, and I may not even pay attention to it. I almost missed one person's question, and they were wanting to pay for a consult, and it was buried because I don't get to see it. So definitely join the Discord, if anything, so that you can actually do stuff like that. Or send the email at meetthewilsons2k10@gmail.com, and then I'm able to actually go through and check it. A lot of times we get sponsors who want to, or product reviews. People will send companies they'll send product reviews through that same email. And so that's basically the default email that we give for that type of thing. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, as far as going and taking a look at places, not a big deal. I can definitely do it. If someone says, hey, here's an address, what do you think? Then yeah, I could definitely take a look and say, oh, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of cool. And there are certain parts of Tacoma that I don't know. There are certain parts I've never even been to. The other day, Noelle and I went to go get the sickness testing, and everybody swears by this place. So we went to find it, and Noelle meandered the way that the directions told us. There were parts of Tacoma I've never, ever, ever seen. I've driven by certain parts of it, but when you go a different direction, it's like I've never seen that area. Like we were talking about, oh, this is cool. I've never seen it. So there's instances like that. So if it's a place that I've actually kind of been to a couple of different times, I can say, yeah, that's a pretty cool area. More familiar with certain areas than others. But then there's certain parts that I've never been to. Just hadn't had a reason to. So those are going to be a little bit different. I can kind of give you a guesstimate. Nothing's concrete. If someone says, hey, I want to be in an area that's super safe, is that area super safe? And I say, yeah, and then you get a package that's taken from you, that's not my fault. You know what I mean? Because stuff happens, right? But as far as, crip walking, you may not see any of that, but you may get your package stolen. Or if you're silly enough to leave an iPad in your car, then yeah, somebody's going to take it. And it may be someone that's not hurting for cash, and they still take it just because. So yeah, you're going to have that anywhere. But I want to put those disclaimers out there, because some folks will say, well, you said it was nice and then this happened. I can't guarantee, but there are certain areas that are more safer by far than others. But anyhow, make sure you join the Discord down in the description box below. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I will see you. Take care.